Okay, we're going to do Write a Melody, but before that, a little shout out to some long-time listeners, Callum P, Brucey T, and Flem Dog. So we're going to start with with this melody writing. We're talking about melody writing in a little bit more of an academic sense or like a school sense. So not sitting around with a guitar strumming and trying to hum some melodies. A bit different to that, bit more academic. So here we go. We're going to start in a slightly weird place, which is we're going to start with form. Now, the reason we start with form is because usually when someone says, hey, write a melody, as particularly students just go crazy and they go nuts. So I'll draw some melodic contours. So they start off with a good, idea, and then they think, well, I've got to do something else, and then they go, something over here, and then they think, oh, I've got to do something else, so I'll do something like this, and then I'll do something else like this. Now, if you were to think about form of a song, right, like the song has got a form of A, B, A, that form can only exist if the melody repeats. So if you've just done a million different melodies and it doesn't repeat, then you could then no longer have a form. And every sort of well-known song has form, I guess. It has verse, chorus, bridge, which comes about because of repetition. So you've just got to think in your head when you're building a melody, would this create some sort of song form? Have I gone too crazy, too complicated? Because usually people overcomplicate trying to write a song. Okay, so the next most obvious thing is a motif. So the motif is just a simple melodic idea. So you don't even have to write it. You could just write an idea, something like that. Maybe that was your motif, and then you can turn that into notes. Something like that. If you couldn't think of a motif, then you could just borrow one. So you could do, a real simple one was I Got Rhythm. Starts like this. Da 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 da. Da da. Da da. Do do. Something like that. There you go. There's a nice simple motif. You could use a nursery rhyme. You could do anything like that. Now, my suggestions would be here is try and make it resolve by starting and stopping on the same note. Makes it sound all finished and all that kind of stuff. Don't have to, but it's a good starting point. Also, the rhythm matters quite a lot. So if I was actually writing this melody, I'd probably turn one of these notes into something slightly more interesting. So, did that work properly? So something like that. Da 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 da. Oh, it's a bit cheesy. So yeah, there's some ideas for you. Any motif, borrow one if you don't know one. Okay, now we get on to the actual writing of a melody. The other bits were relatively simple. So repetition is the most obvious way to write a melody. Direct repetition. So the little one I did before, I'm going to draw lines instead of notes, so it's a bit quicker for me. It went up, and then it went down, right? So the next one, repetition would go up and then down, and then up and then down, and up then down. Let's say I did something like that. That's going to sound like a melody. It's going to sound like the form of the song, but it's going to sound super simple, a little bit childlike, a little bit nursery rhyme-like, a bit sing-songy, but it would work. It's got repetition. So what a much better way of doing repetition is, and I'll just get rid of this stuff, is to repeat parts of the melody. So if I was to go da, 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 put the stem the wrong way, don't worry about it. Right, and now I know that's going to resolve coming down, but what if before I resolve coming down, I just do it again? And then what if I did that again? And then I would come down like so. Now that is going to sound a million times better. So da 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 da. That's suddenly interesting. You could do it the other way around. Da 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 da. Something like that. So you're repeating half of the melody or half of the phrase. So we're going to, if I were to use letters to do this repetition, different to form letters, so I'm kind of going, here I'm going, there's A, and then B, or resolution, something like that. any form of that sort of repetition is probably a much better way of doing it, I would argue. And you could make the repetition smaller too. Da 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 da. Something like that. This is very contemporary songwriting, so there's a bit of a tip for you. So that's repetition. If you're not using repetition, you're probably not writing a melody. Okay, so next one is sequence. So I'll take the same thing I did. The sequence just means move the same rhythm that you had and move it up or down in the scale. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Hello, Mr. Patterson. Am I famous?
You're going to be YouTube famous. You can do a shout out if you like.
It's okay.
Now it makes me look like I'm not using my mask. Not sure what to do now. Just going to carry on. Someone's going to give me a fine. Where do we get up to? Sequence. So now we simply move this up a tone or further, I guess. Now the warning with a sequence is a sequence will sound terrible, for example, in a contemporary song. Sequences tend not to be used in that kind of setting. So most other music uses sequences, but like the melody of a pop song probably doesn't do that style of melody writing. But if you want good marks in an exam, put a sequence in, because examiners love it. They're like, whoa, use the sequence, yeah! And also it sounds great. So that's what a sequence is. Put them in. Okay, and then I've just put all of these other ones together for you. So the reason I've done that is because now that you've got the motif and the repetition, and I would say the sequence, pretty much all the rest of these are a bit of fun. So you can start looking up these names if you want. Oh, I've missed diminution. I can't say it. Make it shorter. So they just mean different things, right? So you can look them up yourself. The reason I put them in is the last one here, contrast, is probably the one that I think matters the most in here, because again, trying to build a melody with some sort of form, you're going to go da 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 da. There's my little melody. Well, now that I've done that, I need some sort of contrast. So because I've been an up and down angular melody, this next part's going to be straight da 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 da. Some sort of contrast like that, which if you think about I've Got Rhythm, that's kind of what it does anyway. Any famous song probably does some sort of contrast. Yeah, and then you can start once you've got that, you can really start mucking around with some of these other techniques. So if you're doing a big band swing style of thing, you go da 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 da, and then you might have the response down here in a sequence or by a different instrument or direct repetition, and then da 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 da. Da 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 blah da 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 blah da 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 blah, that kind of thing. Right, and the last thing I would say about melody writing is once you've done all this, then you want to add style in. Style. So don't try and do style from the start, because that gets confusing. So if we're talking about jazz, for example, like I just said, I just started adding style in by doing call and response between the two different sections in a big band. But if my melody was maybe a bebop thing, let me just do something here for a second. My melody was bebop. Well, then I know that bebop's got maybe some chromaticism in it. So now that I've done this, then maybe I would try and chromatic, can't quite fit it in here, start putting some chromatic notes in, that's horribly messy, but you get the idea. You can start adding style in after you've done these shapes. All right, good luck, give it a go. Thanks for watching, see you soon.